Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations. Our guest today is Jaron J. Webb Webster. We're going to talk about his entrepreneurial journey. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations, where we profile the journey of business, entrepreneurs, and artists from beginning to blow up. And our guest today is really no exception. Today we have Jaron J. Webb Webster.
What's up, brother?
Thank you for your time today,
Yes,
my brother.
sir. Absolutely.
It's a pleasure, man. So, getting right into it, Humble Beginnings. What did you have to conquer within yourself for you to say "King Me" on a record out loud?
King me. I had to get past myself. I had to get past myself to feel like those words were actually truthful for me coming out, you know? And I feel like I have risen to the king of who I am. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, you know? But I feel like I've been forming into a king. I've called myself a king for a long time, but now I'm really realizing what it takes to actually embody that and what it means. So like, king me, I feel like I'm at the king point of my game when it comes to lyricism, when it comes to music, when it comes to being a human being.
When it comes to yourself, it feels like all things have kind of converged into one lane, transformational. That's amazing.
I like to hop up on the mic, it's like I'm healing it. Doing it from day one, something like the pilgrimage. They don't want to deal with this, trying to free the villages. We in the booth cooking that dope, feel like a...
So, going back, you had a blossoming career in real estate as a broker, and you were, so much of in front of the camera, very much an extroverted type of person. And you were involved with a lot of different people, a lot of different pressures, a lot of different aspects of the business. How did your experience with real estate as a broker affect you now as an artist?
Man, that's a really, that's a compelling, deep question, bro. That's a good question, man. I think that understanding people, and one thing about real estate, this is funny, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You can't make everybody happy. I mean, and working in real estate, some people come up in there not even knowing what they want. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't make everyone happy. And when it relates to music, man, it's like, I was making music for a lot of people. I was doing a lot of the real estate stuff, I would say, like the video stuff and everything. It was for that. It was for the real estate and the marketing, but it evolved into something else, into like validation for people. You know what I mean? Like, and people liking me and people, yeah, man, rocking with whatever I'm doing. And so I feel like where I'm at with my music now, where I'm at as an artist, is for me. It's really for me. Like King Me, like that is for me, dog. Like it's a dope track. I love that track. It's very expressive. And I'm doing it for me now and what I like and what feels good for me and what I want to say, and not regarding what everybody else may or may not feel about it in these times.
I love that, man. And so, it's transformational because, you were playing to the crowd in a sense. And so if you were to go back early to those early days as a professional, what's a story or an emotion that could kind of, describe who you were in that season of your life?
It could be a little emptiness, a little sadness, you know what I'm saying? A little confusion that comes from that feeling alone. But from that period in my life, like, I started the one person each day.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it was a result of how I was feeling in that period of my life. Because, I was going to all of the networking events, doing all of the stuff, you know what I'm saying?
All of the things.
Heavily involved, very involved with people, connecting, networking and stuff. But I would go home and I would like have this feeling that, you know, just left the building with all kinds of people. They know me. Hey, bow tie. You know, people know me and everything.
Right.
But I didn't feel. I felt alone when I went home. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, man, what is this? And so ultimately, I felt like I had spent a good amount of time, more time than I needed to, in a space that wasn't necessarily meant for me to be in. So, you know, real estate, I loved it. It was very lucrative. There's a lot of experiences with it. At the same time, I think that it was a transitional piece, something that I could put in my toolbox for future ventures.
Absolutely. Now, that transformation, there's always something that triggers a transformation in a person, something that makes them do something different outside of what they're normally doing to obviously cause a reaction or something, you know, a different outcome from what they want. And I'll, you know, share my story with you, which it involves you at a point in my life when I met you, 2018, which happens to be the first year that I joined social media. I felt stagnant. I felt like, you know, I was in a place that, you know, wasn't going anywhere, and emotionally, I felt like I needed to mix it up and break through and do something different. You know what I'm saying? And kind of, you know, show a different side of myself and not be as fearful as I was as a person. And, you know, me and you know, met on a 1-to-1. Next thing you know, we're jumping out of a plane.
True story.
And this is all documented on social media. And you could tell from that point forward in my life, and I'll tell you right now, from that point forward in my life, I knew that the greatest fear that I had in jumping out of a plane, you know, nothing else compared to that. I could do anything else in the world and that I wanted to do with my business and wanting to be successful and move forward. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Out of that one experience, which I'll share with you for the rest of my life, period. So what was the trigger point for you to make that transformational change within yourself and go from bow tie guy to Jay Webb?
Oh, man, thank you for bringing that up again. You know, fear, I feel like fear, and it was intentional when we jumped out that plane. That's what I was going for, because it was the same concept. It's like, man, it was one of my greatest fears. There's nothing that, you know, going out on any stage, talking in front of any people, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Like, it don't compare to that. Like, It does not compare to that.
Facts.
And like, yeah, man, I feel like fear is one of those things that, like, it hinders us from our truest potential. And like, it's in many forms. And so getting past it is important. Going from you said Tampa bow tie guy to Jay Webb, right? It's funny because I've been doing music since I was 14. And I've been writing music and bars and stuff since I was 14. And like, it's like 20 plus years. And for a long time, between the military, between marriage, found film, you know, real estate, all of that, everything was excuses to not allow music to be what it was for me. You know, like, the music that I was making, my music has absolutely evolved, but for a long time, man, military, I felt like I couldn't say certain stuff, express myself. Being married and having a family, you know, a long time I wasn't cussing in my music because it's like I had kids, but it was just such a portion of me, a percentage of me, that it wasn't even funny. Getting into real estate, man, I can't be selling $500,000 houses and I'm a rapper, you know what I'm saying? It was all self-limitation, circumstances, and then found film and devoted myself to that, man. But like, the whole time, music has just been calling me the whole time. And like, I never stopped writing. I never stopped freestyling. I never stopped actually like doing it, but doing it and believing that it is something worthy of people hearing, putting it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels good to put a song together, record it, do everything I got to do on the back end to put it on the platform to be like, yo, Jay, you can go check out King Me on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever, man. So, yeah. But did that answer the question? I'm not even sure. Going from real estate to music, okay. Real estate, and went from real estate to film, and then music is now blossoming as like my truest expression of me. That's what feels good. That's what I know. That's what
That
you know
feels
what I'm
like
saying?
home.
That feels like home.
Because you've always been a creative. Like for real. Like you've been a creative for as long as I've known you. And I haven't known you that too long. For as long as I've known you, you've always been a creative. You've always done amazing things that no one else in my life has been able to do. You've authored a book, you've produced movies, you've directed movies. You're obviously a veteran, so that in and of itself is an amazing accomplishment. And now you're a music artist. I mean, the fact that you're obviously an actor as well. I mean, good grief. How many, that's what life is all about. I mean, it is absolutely your right to try all of these things in life and go with what makes you feel most at home and like yourself. Mm-hmm. And I guess my question is that what about music makes you feel like Jaren?
Jaren and not Jay Webb. Huh? Jaren, that's pretty deep right there. Jay Webb, just the name, it's the essence. What about music that it's the freedom of expression, man? There's freedom of expression in film and other aspects of art that I've dealt with. But like when it comes to film, it's a beautiful process. It's a collaborative process, and it takes multiple pieces. And sometimes what I want to say as like either a writer or a director or an actor, it can evolve into something that isn't exactly what I was looking to say. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And like with music, being able to express myself fully, like, I've gotten past myself on things that I can say, what I can't, I've gotten past myself when it comes to that. So music, man, being on stage, bro, is one of the most freeing experiences. Like, I don't know if you haven't been seeing my shows yet, but like freestyling is what I love. I love real instruments playing, guitar, piano or something, and freestyling and being in the present moment, because people are getting me right now. They're not getting some made up stuff, some memorized stuff. They getting me right now. And a lot of music allows me to do that, whether I'm by myself and I'm freestyling, listening to a beat, or I'm actually listening to a beat and writing something, where I'm with somebody or I'm at an open mic, and it just allows me to fully be me. And now that I'm okay with everything that I have to say and the way that I express it, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or feels, and that's very gratifying.
That's the true, genuine article right there, and just being able to be yourself. So you went from showings to shows, and now you've got this music that is, it's maturing and it's organically growing. And you've got some cuts. I'm gonna start with In My Bag.
Go crazy, go crazy, go crazy. I don't give a fuck, nigga, pay me. I told them there ain't no debating. These niggas, they been overrated. I've been on them pages, I've been on them stages. I'm going through stages, I'm going through phases.
To make this type of song, man, it's like, what was going on in your life that made you make In My Bag? Was there a loss? Was there a lesson? Was there some type of season you were going through that made you make that record?
I was in Atlanta at the time. I spent that year in Atlanta, and there was a homie named Tyler. It was one of my bros there, and I was sharing some of my rhymes with him, and he just made a comment, man. He was like, "Dang, bro, like you in your bag, I promise. He made that comment, and like I left from kicking it with him that night. And the confidence that I had in myself, because the stuff that I was spitting for him and everything, I was in a period to where I was really writing. And in that Atlanta period that I was there, man, it was for film. But I thought it was for art in some way, shape, or form. But it was deeper than that, man. God took me there, and God led me there. I took me there, and I had different plans than what God had. And so, man, what was I saying?
What season where you were in Atlanta?
Exactly.
Tyler said, I'm in my bag.
Yes. The season was a challenging one, man. I had missed the boys being here. I was in Atlanta trying to strive for stardom and all this illusionary stuff, man. All of these illusions. That stuff is fake, man. Right. You know what I mean? Fame and all. That's what I was going for. Yeah, being in my bag, man. Like he made that comment. I was writing a lot at that time because I was feeling a lot, going through a lot. And then he was like, man, you in your bag, bro. And I felt it. Like, I am in my bag. And I went home I went to the crib that night and there was a song and I mean a beat that called me and I'm in my bag, stack it up. I'm in my bag, man. Yeah, that was
I
a
love
vibe.
that. So there's got to be something said for artistry and, you know, putting in work and just, you know, improving on your skill set. And with that record, I feel like you definitely elevated yourself from, you know, your previous work and just initially getting into the actual music. What would you say you did in order to, you know, kind of level up your artistry? Like what was the secret sauce, you know, improving your craft?
Getting out of my own way, allowing myself to be me, and then just doing it consistency with like I go to an open mic or I go to a place. It doesn't matter if I'm ready for it. It doesn't matter if I'm prepared. We get to play some of my music. Like I'm gonna get up on that stage. And that's pretty much what happened in that time in Atlanta. Took a couple friends there, thought it was gonna be an open mic. I'm in my bag, I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Nah, didn't happen like that. They was up there jamming some free flow type stuff. The microphone was empty. I didn't want to walk away from that situation and be like, man, I should have got on the stage. And then I had people there and it was like, man, I'm gonna do this thing. I gave my phone to my sister and I was like, hold that for a minute. I went up there and did my thing and it was super fun. It was super exhilarating. I started doing things like singing, right? Like I'm a rapper, I'm a lyricist for the most part, but like I have a voice and I can sing and I ain't know that I could. And so like in these moments to where I'm just doing it and just going with it and I'm learning different things about myself. And like, that's why I got into the freestyling stuff in front of people because it was like, I'm not gonna always be able to go and do my music, but like I love getting on stage, so I ain't gonna limit myself, you know?
Do you know how brave you are as a person to be able to decide to get into especially this type of genre and just put yourself out there? I mean, there are people out there right now that have Facebook posts that they've been thinking about for like 2 or 3 days or weeks that they're just, you know, they're not ready to hit the button, yet you're up here switching industries, changing career paths, putting yourself out there as an artist, you know, with just reckless abandon. You know, where does that come from?
Not settling. I mean, people say life is short, but life seems like it's long and short. And I think that it's too short to be unhappy, and it's too long to be unhappy too. It's too short and too long to be unhappy. So whatever you feel, I follow what feels good. I'm learning to follow what feels good in my life. And I feel this intuition. I feel my spirit is guiding me and leading me. And all of the things that I've attempted to do, like in some way, shape, or form, I was led there, guided there. If I was aware enough, I took a lot from it. And I feel like it's all just tools in the tool belt. And as an actor, as an artist, like life experience is gonna do nothing but add to, you know, what we're capable of.
Fast.
I feel that's what's been happening, you know. And if it don't feel good, like there was reasoning getting out of real estate, and it was like understanding industry culture of the people I was working with, stuff like that. It was like, man, this really isn't for me. And then film came out of nowhere with, you know, my experience with watching the Black Panther, and it was like, boom, you know. And film has been very good to me. It's been an outlet as well. At the same time, it has come to a point to where it's like I'm focused solely on music right now, because that's what feels truest to me, and allowing me to be the most free version of myself without putting too many like obligations and stuff on things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Finish your sentence. I'm in my bag when.
I'm present.
I'm not in my bag when.
I'm in my head. Man. You know what thinking can do to a human being?
Yeah,
dog?
yeah. Sometimes we do too much of it.
Oh
in
my
a sense.
gosh.
Yeah, about to do it big, hippopotamus. It's only J Webb, all these other cats anonymous. Talking out your ass, gon' see a gynecologist. I'ma change the game, it's a cultural apocalypse. You know who they rockin' with?
Stand on it.
Stand on.
Man, I love this record, man. I love this
Yeah?
record too, man. It's very assuming. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna walk the walk, I'm gonna talk the talk type shit. You know what I mean? And so, in your latter days of real estate, what did that experience teach you about integrity?
In the latter days of real estate, I feel like really it taught me how to have integrity for myself. You know, being in the military and stuff, then, you know, we taught to have integrity with like life and out here and with other people and everything. And I feel like I've had that. I feel like that I've done my best to stand on being a good person in this world to other people and everything. And like really having integrity for discovering myself, discovering my boundaries, discovering what I like, what feels good for me, what's good for me, and then going into that direction. I feel like real estate, at the latter days of it, I started seeing things that didn't really align with who I was. I wasn't able to articulate it at that time like this, but like seeing things that didn't align with who I was and holding true to being like, it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go in another direction.
That makes sense, man. Would you say that that's an example of a time where standing on it in the short term paid off for you in the longer term?
With real estate.
Yeah, but the fact that you felt like it wasn't your authentic self. So in the short term, maybe, you missed out on all the equity and the effort and work that you put into it. But in the long term, it paid off for you personally because it fed into you genuinely more as a person. Would you say that? I don't know. I don't want to answer for you.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like there's any lack from it. I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I don't feel like I am missing, you know what I'm saying? Like any industry that we get involved with, when we get out, then, I mean, everything just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? Everything goes on with or without us. And yeah, not because it plays a role in my happiness. And if I'm not happy right now, you know what I'm saying? Then like, what does the future even matter for real?
Right.
And like real estate lucrative, but I've realized that I'm not all about money in those times too. Like that's something big that I learned because everybody around me was very money driven, money focused, like capitalizing and everything. And I felt myself outside of that energy. And so I feel in the short term, it was challenging because of transition. A lot of transitions are challenging. And I kind of didn't know what I was going to do. When I published the book, man, I didn't know what I was doing,
Yeah, no, that brings me to my next question is how have you been able to handle people that don't understand your transition from what you did before to what you are now?
Handling people that don't understand my transition, it was harder to handle them before.
I think on the song you say something about people switching teams on you.
Oh yeah, we ain't on the same team. A lot of homies got traded. Yeah. Handling it has been better because I'm not really handling it anymore. Like I'm from clear understanding that people can only comment on the things that you offer up to them. They can only comment, judge, suggest, advise on what you offer up to them. And before I was offering it up to anyone that would listen, and I would hear a lot of fear, and I would hear a lot of fear really, and it would be from family. And like, yeah, man, like it's not about them though. It's about me and about how I feel. And I've learned that it's me. I gotta live with me. I gotta be with me from the point A to point Z. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody that got suggestions or opinions or is mad at me or whatever. None of them are like, they're not walking in my shoes. They not driving the car, taking the flights. They're not getting on the stages. They not, showing up for whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they not with me when I'm by myself and when I'm like dealing with the stuff and like, am I doing the right things? So like, it's faded, man. Like it has faded a lot. It's dissolved for real. Cause it doesn't matter what another person thinks or what they feel. And it don't matter who they are. It's like always a consideration. Family or friends. It's a consideration. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who it is, ultimately, like you got to make decisions for your life. For you. And the same thing that I got to do. I got to make the decisions for my life, for me. You know?
That's very powerful, man, because there's a lot of people right now that have, all the material things, all of the, the trimmings, yet inside they're very empty. And, you hear a lot about these, these YouTubers and all these, these people that have made like great success with social media or what have you, yet they commit suicide at a very young age. Suicides are up amongst the younger population. And, it's like there's not enough onus put on the internal value that you have for yourself as opposed to what everybody else on the outside, thinks is valuable.
Yeah.
And so I guess my question for you is, when you made that record, Stand On It, is there any promise that you made to yourself that you promised to yourself that you will not break?
Not really.
And through this transition from,
I'm just committed. I don't know if I consciously was like, yeah, I'm won't, but I'm just committed to what the journey is and where God is leading me to. And God is leading me somewhere, and maybe not somewhere, but in every moment. And the more I can be aware and present with that, then I can pay attention and see where I'm going. But I don't think I made any promises consciously or nothing. I'm just committed to what the journey is. I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to that. I'm committed to what I'm supposed to do, being here, man, whether that's chilling, relaxing, giving back to people, being a father, being a man, being part of the community and building the community. Whatever it is, man, that I'm meant to be doing, that's the lane that I want to be in. That's where I want to be at.
I love that, man. You definitely seem at peace. It shows. You ain't got to say
promise
nothing.
myself.
Yeah.
Promise myself peace, baby.
Yeah, it feels that way.
With this energy, feeling aligned, mind, body, spirit, the trilogy. Identify.
King Me. This is one of my favorite records, man. This joint right here, this King Me joint is a declaration of independence type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a checker piece, and you just made it across the board, and you made it to that spot, and you was like, I love it up. I'm here. How's that record feel for you, man?
It feels like me. It feels like it's a great representation of where I am as an artist, and a great representation of my confidence and my abilities. It has 2 verses, and the second verse get really expressive, really, just changing my voice, the tonage and everything. And it was like, I've done that before, but I haven't done it too often. Some of the things that I did in King Me when it came to expressing myself, that song makes me feel like, I'm meant to be doing this.
Right.
This is yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it makes me feel, man.
What do you hope it inspires in other people?
That they kings too, that they royal too. When it comes to my music, man, I just thought about this. When it comes to my music, I say a lot of things. It's real for me, it's true for me, and a lot of things I say is coming back to self and the value of self and loving self and all of that, man. And I was just considering this stuff, man. It's like if somebody learns the words to my song and they start rapping, it's like a whole lot of affirmations, man.
Yeah.
Like I am, you know what I mean? Is that type of energy, that type of vibe, man. So the stuff that I'm saying in King Me, it speaks on worthiness with myself. If you repeat these words, then you're gonna be speaking indirectly on worthiness to yourself,
I love that, man. Listen, these 3 records, that's why I picked them.
Yeah.
That's why I picked them. These 3 records are just motivational, inspirational, and I feel like you leveled up, in your artistry, and you just getting started. Of course, it's only getting better, but it's amazing to see how, in such a short time, your artistry is leveled up to the point to where these 3 songs right here spoke to me, and I got you sitting right here on the show. And
blessing to be here.
I felt compelled to highlight you, and so we take it to the last segment, man. Great Expectations.
Okay.
So, what do you want this journey that you're on right now? What do you want this journey to be for J Webb the artist and for Jaren as the man?
It's a good question. J Webb the artist and Jaren as a man. It's been a little period with myself to what does that even mean? Like Jaren and J Webb, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, I'm me all the way through, and J Webb is stage name, right? But I do see it's a whole essence, man. When I put that bandana on and everything, it's a whole essence. But me and being me, you're gonna get this right here. You talk to me, you connect with me right here, you connect with me on stage. You're getting the same energy. You're getting real, you're getting truth, you're getting presence. And I feel like Jaren and J Webb is one and the same. J Webb is just a name, just a moment, But what I desire is to be on the biggest stages in the world. J Webb, being on the biggest stages in the world. I would say being a household name, but I don't really care about that, man. I want to be on the biggest stages. I want to be the Smoothie King, Center LA, all of them. And speaking to people, not just on the music, but speaking to people life, bro, on what's real and what we need to be talking about. Some of the things that could benefit our lives to be talking about. I feel like I can do that with my music, outside of my music, and I feel like I have the confidence I've built myself to be able to be ready for that stuff.
I love it, man. Hey, you heard it here first. Jaron J. Webb Webster, The Rebellion, King Me, Stand on It. I'm in my bag, all out right now, wherever you get your music. Look out for your man. He's gone through the journey. He's done the work, and I'm happy he's here, man. You made it through the other side.
Man.
Welcome, my bro.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you for having me,
My
bro.
pleasure,
Man,
bro.
this space is amazing. I love
wrap.
what you're doing, man.